Gentleman yields back. I now recognize Mr. Crane from Arizona for 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. IA has consistently come under fire for its social media collection targeting Americans' political views. You claim that you have safeguards for First Amendment protected speech, but by all accounts, they come with a huge loophole. If an IA officer says that collected protected speech somehow furthers one of your missions, he can collect that speech all day long. IA has claimed a vague counterterrorism need to target Americans talking about politics, COVID, environmentalist issues, and so forth. Please explain your method for deciding which one to monitor to prevent terrorism, please.
Thank you, sir. And that goes to the crux of the issue that I was raising earlier, which is how difficult it is to do this work in the homeland where the Constitution obviously applies strongly, and it's sacred that we respect the constitutional right to free speech and political engagement. So what we do in terms of collection, as well as in terms of analysis, is we can only do intelligence work as it relates to communications, political speech, if that political speech does relate to one of our missions. In other words, if that political speech is coupled, for example, with talking about coordinating violence in a protest. Violence, absolutely actual violence, the type of thing that you were referring to, Ranking Member Magaziner, pre-January 6th, or in the context of any kind of protest. That's an example. Or efforts, discussing cyber efforts online to undermine the integrity of our critical infrastructure. And we're seeing that by people domestically. We're also seeing it by foreign adversaries who are trying to get inside the systems of our critical infrastructure. So we have to have a mission, and we actually, in order to do that collection or analysis, and our Transparency and Oversight Program Office is doing something very important, which is we're putting in place a process to make sure that that collector or analyst identifies what that mission is before they take the step based on that mission. So we can go back and audit it and make sure that someone didn't willy-nilly collect something without a verifiable basis for doing it. And that's one of the big things, big ticket items that our TOPO, Transparency and Oversight Office, is pulling together right now.
So, sir, are you saying that you're currently putting that process in place, or do you already have that process written down and your agents are trained on that process?
We have guidance in place. We have training that has been greatly improved over the last few years. And in terms of the accounting afterwards, the audit function, that is being built right now. And we've gotten some assistance from folks like Inspector General and the GAO. We actually have the former Inspector General of DHS, John Roth, on our staff as a special government employee helping us with these kind of systems.
Are you prepared and willing to share that process, the training with the Homeland Security Committee?
Absolutely. I'm very proud to show it to you.
Great. Thank you, sir. One thing that I wanted to touch on with the remainder of my time is I represent half of the tribes in Arizona. What are you guys doing to work with the localities, tribal police, to deal with some of the issues that they're experiencing largely because of our open border, like the fentanyl deaths are skyrocketing on the reservation? Can you share with us what you guys are doing to coordinate and work with tribal police?
Thank you, sir. And I know that they have particular challenges and particular threats. And we are working our engagement office that engages with the state and locals. I think I told you at the beginning, one of the things we've done is we've elevated that whole function within the organization so it reports directly to me because it's a huge priority. And we're meeting with our counterparts, state, local, but also tribal partners on a regular basis, and particularly those who are affected down by the border, by all the activity down there. I was down on the border for a week, I guess last year in Texas, and seeing the issues there. Obviously the same thing, issues there are playing out in the areas of the reservations over New Mexico and Arizona. So,
is this something that your office is proactive in, reaching out to the tribes, or do you require them to come to you for intelligence?
We reach out to all our partners, but if it's okay, sir, what I'll do is I can get you a written or verbal brief about specifically what we're doing with the tribes.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.